What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie. This is part 7 of my ranking Frank Zappa's guitar solos within the context of an album. I originally was only going to do the ones that were released after he passed away, but then after not being too kind to the Zappa 88 last US show, I thought I would do the other 88 shows to kind of show that, hey, there is some good stuff from this tour. It's just, if you're going to pick one single show for reasons that don't have to do with music, but have to do with the fact that it's the last US show, maybe the quality of the solos isn't going to be as high as other stuff. Stuff is when Frank can literally pick from everything he recorded on the tour because he's not confined by a single show. So today, we're finishing the 88 run. I will have done all 4 of the exclusively 88 releases, with the first one, Broadway the Hard Way. I will be talking about the CD release. The actual vinyl release only had 2 solos on it. The CD release adds 3 more, so we get a whopping 5 solos on this single CD release. I'm just going to talk about them in the order that I like them. Then I will put the list on the screen for you to look at. Then I will show you where this album compares to the other 6 that I've done already. Pretty straightforward, huh? So let's go. Number 5, Dickie's Such an Asshole. Just a pretty straightforward, kind of bluesy Dickie solo. Starts off a little more aggressively than the one that's on the Zappa 88 last US show, but other than that, kind of just covers the same territory, fills the same purpose. It's just fills the same purpose. It's just kind of there because this song is always at a solo there, and so Frank's going to play a solo there. But there's really not much to it, if you ask me. Number 4, Murder by Numbers. Sting comes out at a Chicago show, and they do like a 12-bar blues version of Murder by Numbers. Sting gives a little speech that he gives, that he would give also on his tour about, Jerry Falwell once said this about me, sons of Satan, all that stuff. And then Frank drops a nice little solo towards the end of the verses. Doesn't go on for very long, kind of abandons it and quickly just kind of starts playing these funky little chords that kind of go with the progression that's being played. But it's a nice little surprise tweet. Like, tweet? It's a nice little surprise treat that comes at the end of what is a really nice performance. Like, hearing Sting's voice, the contrast with like Ike and Frank is really nice. I like the version of the song. It's fun. Comes out of a beautiful Stolen by Numbers. And Frank's solo is just a nice little extra like zest of flavor that lifts the song to even better heights. Number 4. Number 3 is Hot Plate Heaven at the Green Hotel. This is probably the one song more than any other song that I have a problem with in 84 and 88, because it is the song in which Frank would do this with a lot of songs, just in order to like not always be soloing over the same vamp. Frank would do this thing where like after like the first half of the song ended, he would like sometimes just create a whole new vamp, just that had no relation whatsoever, maybe in the same key, but had no relation whatsoever to what the rest of the song was doing. And so you would almost like, you're like going really, really fast and you go, put on your brakes, and now we're going this way. And then we're eventually going to jump back into the song, but it still won't have any relationship to what we're doing. Though, in this case, there was this build up into the thing. But it always takes me out of it. And then it always takes me a couple, like, I don't know, like a minute or so, maybe not that long, to like, okay, I have to accept the fact that the momentum was ruined and I don't like this. It's a personal pet peeve I have, but now I'm going to try to engage in the solo. And this one eventually gets kind of interesting toward the end, gets kind of funky. Frank starts doing some more funkier, for lack of a better word, experimental stuff, though it's not really all that out there. It's just Frank kind of getting a little like chordy, playing some funky little chords and then bending some notes and doing stuff like that. So it does have its moments, but for me, it's just always hard. I just don't appreciate the like immediate sort of, that immediate like switching of like directions when we get to the solo section. So yeah, that's my number 3, Hot Plate Heaven at the Green Hotel. Number 2 is Outside Now. One of the things that always works about the Outside Now solos is Frank usually starts either playing the first actual notes of his guitar or just like trilling notes or doing something like doing quiet little licks while Ike is still singing like the last lyrics. So you actually get the solo instead of a clean break from like the song proper and the solo. There is an actual melding of the two, so they feel like they're connected, and the sort of emotional, like sort of the emotion that Ike is putting into his performance carries over into the guitar solo. And I think it really helps these solos just feel a little different, go to a different level, just maybe reach slightly higher heights than solos that don't have that emotional impact in them. Yeah, it's just a really good Outside Now solo. I don't think it's as good as the one from the Mud Munich show. The intensity of Frank's guitar on that really benefits. But it's nice. And I think Frank's style in 88, which tends to be a little more laid back, a little more subdued kind of, even when he's going really, really crazy, the sound of his guitar and the tone kind of undermines the intensity, I would argue. But for Outside Now, it works. And that sort of quieter, more restrained, more than I can't actually scream like I want to intensity that maybe is in there works for a song like Outside Now because it actually connects to the lyrics. So yeah, it's a good solo. Doesn't quite get as funky or exploratory as interesting as I think Hot Plate Heaven, but I think as an entire piece, like one narrative thread of a piece, I think it works much better. And then jumping in quality from like maybe somewhere down here, which is like good to great, to like all the way up here, we have Any Kind of Pain, which might be close to a perfect Frank Zappa solo. It is beautiful. It is lyrical. It is melodic. It is, can I say touching? Is it touching? Feels like it's touching, though I'm not sure what it's touching considering the lyrics of the song. But it's a good solo. It's a solo where you can almost imagine another guitar player in another band who like essentially plays the same solo every night. Like he would write this version of this solo and that would be what he would choose to play every night because it's almost perfect. It's like every note is where it should be. When he goes into sort of he has like a standard number of 88 tropes that he kind of leans into. He leans into a couple of those, but they come at exactly the right place. It just all feels absolutely perfect. I do know that this solo is edited, like the original live version. I think it's about a minute longer than this, maybe not that long. So Frank has taken parts out, but it's perfection. I mean, it's like, that's what guitar players do anyways, right? They write a solo, edit it down, then play that same one every night. Frank edited it down to what I think might be just a near perfect guitar solo. I have listened to this so much and I think it is so good that when I hear other Any Kind of Pains from this tour, they really, really struggle to match this guitar solo because I do think this one is like almost note for note the perfect creation. Easily one of his best ever. I think one of his best of 88. Just an absolutely, absolutely beautiful, beautiful solo. In a song that like first musically appeared in like the Christmas shows at 76 and then that music disappeared until 88, and now it's back with these lyrics about like Madison Avenue and, fake women, advertising products and stuff like that. But the solo is just, it's a special solo. Kind of makes it suck because I think this song has been released maybe on a compilation, but if not, it should be because you kind of need the solos, which means you need the album. And I'm not a big fan of the album, but man, is the solo good. But yeah. That's the ranking of those 5 solos in that order. That's what they look like in writing. And this is where I would put the album right there. Towards the bottom, number 6. I do think it is, even though it is only 5 solos, I do think it is better than that last US show. And because I'm like actually giving these numerical grades, the thing that lifted it barely above that last US show is that Any Kind of Pain solo. That is such a great solo that it was able to sort of nudge the album up above the last US show. That is an absolutely amazing guitar solo. But anyways, that's it. That's all I got for now. We are finished for 88 for now until I get to a couple like You Can't Do That on Stage series, which probably, I don't know, maybe soon. I don't know when I'll do those. Maybe I'll do them sooner just to knock out all the 88 stuff now. Yeah. I don't know. We'll think about it. But anyways, that's it. I'm rambling. Subscribe, like, share. Let me know what you think about these solos, about this album, all that stuff. You know how it works. And most importantly, go listen to music. Listen to all the music, people. Peace. Talk to you later.